Hey guys, it's Epic Underworlds. So in this video, I want to talk about trading card games and the umbrella term of trading card games, because I recently had a comment that really made me start thinking and changing my perspective onto that term, because someone commented an amazing comment, talking about how my trading card games are not trading card games. They're just don't share a lot of those values, and I really agreed. And so I want to make this kind of rant video. It's not scripted or anything, not no edited, because I think non-edited videos give you more pauses and things to think and take in the information, so you're not just bombarded by good edits and stuff. So you can listen to this while you're making some cards, or you can just journal or something. But I really want to delve deep into this topic. So let's talk about trading card games. I have nothing against Magic the Gathering, really. I think it's a very respectable game. Do I think that it aligns with my values in TCGs? No. I'm my own person. I have my own values and reasons for creating card games that are completely different to Wizards of the Coast. Think about it. Wizards of the Coast is a company. In order for a company to survive, they need to make money. And in order to do that, they need to do things that maybe someone like me who's passionate about creating a game and doesn't do it for a living would do differently. So I'm not trying to throw shade to Magic the Gathering or any other big company or any other TCG that does any of the things Magic does. That's fine. I just want to give you guys a different perspective that maybe is a little bit more controversial compared to a lot of things out there. Part of my content, I try to introduce you guys to new ideas, and because it's really important to think for yourself when you're making games. I used to just make a bunch of trading card games mindlessly, copy a lot of common tropes, and not really understand why I was making the game. But recently I've been putting a lot more thought into that, and it's been a lot more rewarding, and the process is more enjoyable. So let's talk about what it is to basically have a trading card game. So when you think of trading card games, you usually think of rarities, competitive gameplay, some sort of investment. A lot of people buy cards as an investment, which that's an interesting point, or like booster packs and lots of sets. So my card games, which I don't even know if I can really call them trading card games anymore, because they do pretty much all those things differently. So let's dive into each one. Rarities. So the reason I don't like rarities and don't like using them in my new trading card games or card games is because I think they devalue each card. Think about it. Whenever you're opening a pack of trading card games or trading cards for your favorite card game, the randomness is awesome, because the idea of being able to get any card, amazing. But when you actually open those cards, do you really care that much about the commons or uncommons? Do you just not really give them too much attention? Yeah, they might look cool, but do they really matter? Or do you just go straight to the end of the pack and look at the rarest card you can get, whether it's a mythic, and then look up the price and be like, oh shoot, that's a terrible pack. Kind of not really caring about the other cards. Or boom, you pull like a $20 card. You're so happy. And I think when you give cards labels like that, it really takes away from the beauty of each card. Like, when you have rarities, it kind of overshadows, I think, some of the art. You know, like, for example, if you saw this card, I think you would probably like it a lot more if you saw that it's a legendary rather than a common. Like, be honest. I think you'd like it a lot more if maybe it had a way better ability that would relate to the rarity rather than just a bad common ability. And although trash cards are needed for sets, and Shard TCG did an amazing video on this recently, go check that out about why you need trash cards in your game. But I don't like the idea of like just sifting through a set and just trying to look for the very best cards, because I think each card has something to offer. I wish there was more formats, and I wish card games were just played for the experience. It's not always about the wins. I think a really fun part about trading card games is finding someone else who just wants to experience like the playstyle, new types of cards, because they like the arts. They have a connection with the cards, not just because, oh, it's the best deck and I want to beat my opponent. No, it's because you have fun playing the game. At least that's what I want when I play a trading card game. I don't always try to build the best decks. I mean, yeah, when I first started off in the community, especially in the Wrath of Kors, I tried to break every game I could play. And that was fun. It was fun, but it really didn't make me that satisfied as if I would have won with maybe more of a humble deck where it used all my favorite characters. And I think that was like how King Froggy played Epic Underworlds. He just used his favorite cards that had tied into the lore and just his favorite parts about the game. I loved how he played that. He might not have won all the time, but the times he did win, it was like the best experience because he used the cards he wanted. It's like he built his own team, his own custom part of each game. And that's how I really like looking at trading card games as far as playing them. So we talked about rarities, talked about gameplay, now investment. I really don't like the idea of people buying card games as an investment. I mean, this is a big problem in Magic the Gathering. Like, people will just go out there and buy a bunch of booster boxes of a set, and then in 20 years from now, boom, it's a payday. But, like, what's the point of having something if you don't use it? I mean, yeah, go invest in the stock market. You know, that's fun, but I'm not going to buy a bunch of sealed TCG products just so I can sell them off one day and not never experience them. Like, I buy card games because I want to play them with my friends and have those fun moments. So that's another thing my game does differently. The last thing is booster packs. I really don't like booster packs. Okay, it's the idea is there. You know, it's fun being able to do a collection of, you know, get any card in a set. It's randomized, but I think that's really gambling because I know that it's very gratifying when you get a special card in a pack or something, and it looks cheaper because like a pack's not that much money. But when you want to really build a deck and stuff, you have to order a ton of packs or buy singles and stuff. And how I sell my card games, or at least now I do, is you get every card that it says in the pack. And that way, someone who buys 20 packs won't beat you just because you bought two. No, everyone will be able to access all the cards and be able to use those for the rest of their lives. You know, there won't be any set rotations or any of that in my card games. It's just, you buy this one album of cards, and you can use those the rest of your life to play endless combinations of games. Endless. Because no same game plays the same way every time. There's always different card abilities and card effects that change. It's like chess. You know, no two games are the same. And so a lot of those things make, you know, card games that are made by one person in a studio. Because when you're one person in a studio, you have a vision for your card game. It's not like you're being told what to do. You basically have full freedom. It's a full sandbox, and it's a really fun sandbox to have fun with. And you can experiment and do whatever you want with it. And that spawns uniqueness and innovation. So I really think I'm going to just be calling my games card games from now on. You know, as a small creator, it's not like people are really trading my cards. People who usually buy homemade trading card games are the ones who usually just want to collect them or get inspired by those cards. I rarely see people play HTCGs unless it's online, because most people who play TCGs online, those are like the free-to-play versions. So I think HTCGs are mainly free-to-play or print and play, whereas like it's not like you have a big enough audience to contract a fan base that will buy tons of packs of your game. So as a creator, small creator, I'm just going to be selling my game for those who want to experience it. And that way, they only have to buy one product, and that's all they ever need. And that game, and you know, they can always buy expansions and stuff, like other albums of cards, but I think making it more accessible to people to further spread your experience of your game, because you have something to offer here. If you really have a good vision for a card game, you have something to offer. And don't make it something that's content. Because if you want your card game to be a true art form, you can't really make it content in a sense. What I mean by that, content is something that is aimed to make money, like a movie. They create a movie to gross a certain amount of money. And then there's like small films, which are just created for pure creation. Think of HTCGs like that, homemade card games like that. They're not going to be created to earn you millions of dollars. They're created because you have something to add, you have a vision, and you can create it and express it. And all these other things might get in your way, like you want to make money or something, but when it comes down to me making card games, I really just want to make them because I love this art form and I want to contribute something that I have to offer to this art form. And I don't want money or anything, any other factor to get in the way of that. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. So from now on, I'm going to be calling my trading card games just card games. And if you guys want to also follow that trend, that new ideal, then you guys can do that too. It's really up to you as to how you think a trading card game, like the definition of that term means, and how it applies to your games. I really enjoyed making this video because I had all these thoughts in my head, and it's nice to just really get them out on video, on camera, you know, kind of as recorded, so I can always go back to it. And I just think it's time for a new age of card games. You know, we don't have to use the old guard as our main foundation. Like, we can create our new things, like all the greatest things, the impressionist movement, new 80s music, that whole era. Like, great things don't just come from doing the same thing over and over again. Great things come from innovations, someone going outside their comfort zone to create a new vision of something, and that will inspire so many to follow that, and then it'll inspire those to innovate and those to innovate and progress card games and just games in general. I mean, there's so much more to do. It's I still can't wait for the day when TCGs, comics, and manga create like a new medium that kind of incorporates all those things, and it's more of an innovation. I've been trying to create something like that for a while. I tried making a manga TCG. That didn't work, but one day I just hope more new things are created, not just card games. I just hope more innovation is conducted within, you know, game design and art itself. So that's what I want to end on this video. Guys, go out there and make something. You know, if you really want to be great and add a mark on game history and art history, you really got to step out of your comfort zone. Start thinking like differently. Don't stop like watching all these videos talking about how you should make your game. Get some sort of game diary like I do. This is where I just put a bunch of ideas and stuff, and start writing down your own thoughts. And if you don't have your own thoughts, then you got to start, you know, thinking for yourself and not always have all this noise in your head. So that was this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.